Hello and welcome to the morning show with Brian Daly and me, Sybil Mulcahy.
Coming up, adopted at 2 months old, Grainne Mason first began searching for her birth mother in 2002. Yet despite the heartbreak she has endured, Grainne says she will not give up the fight. We'll be hearing her story shortly.
Also, a victim of domestic violence who's struggling to cope with mounting debts. Our morning show counsellor, Mary Curran, will be here to offer her advice on this and other problems a little bit later on.
Time to catch the train. If recent disruptions taught us anything, it's just how much we rely on air travel to get us to and from holiday destinations. We'll be looking at holidays that can be reached by alternative modes of transport. But first, it's been 8 years since she first began, but Grainne Mason has no intention of giving up the search for her birth mother. It's
been a hard journey already, especially as she knows that her mother doesn't want to meet her. But Grainne says it's still a cause worth pursuing if it means that she's finally able to put the pieces of her past together.
It's actually nearly a full-time job at the moment. I'm not working at the moment, so it's full-time. I can lose days. You know, I can go down in the morning, there'll be emails there waiting for me, there might be letters, phone calls, and if you get started on a thread that may lead somewhere, you can literally lose the full day, can be gone, and you realise, oh, where did the day go? And that's the way it is at the moment for me. It's like an addiction nearly. You start off saying, I'll just do an hour here or an hour there, and then all of a sudden it's, well, maybe I'll do. And then when you're going to bed at night, your mind is working as well overtime, and you're thinking of, I didn't try this. Maybe if I try it this way, or maybe if I contact that, or I haven't gone in this angle. So you're always trying to think outside the box. You're always trying to think of different ways of trying to get the information that you want. So, you know, as I said, it's 24/7 really. There's a lot of people out there exactly like me. I had one woman who rang me from Cork. She's 73 and she's still looking. Even though she knows her mother is dead years, she's still looking for family. And that's at 73 years of age.
Well, Grainne Mason joins us this morning. You're very welcome, Grainne.
Morning,
that's heartbreaking. A 73-year-old woman still searching.
Still
I presume you hope that
that
isn't going to be the situation with yourself.
I hope so. I can't see myself doing it again for the next 30 or so or 40 years. But, you know, as I said, what harm could her file do to anybody now?
At this
stage of her life, 73. I was nearly in tears on the phone yesterday. She just had seen my letter in the Irish Times and she said, I had to ring you just to say thank you for standing up. Thank you for bringing the story of all of us that are doing it. You know, we're doing it all on our own and with no help from, well, we have some limited help from the HSE, but their hands are tied with legal reasons.
There's so many as well, aren't there?
42,000 at the moment. That I know, you know, that's the figure that's going around at the moment. There's 42,000 adopted. We know for a fact that there's 5,900 and odd registered with the Adoption Board's contact register. But unfortunately, that only works if both sides of the adopted side and the natural side, somebody on both sides makes contact with them. Otherwise, it's useless.
So what do you know? Obviously, it's all about, in your case, information and getting what you said there, facts. What do you know about yourself and your past?
The one thing I know is that I was told from the social worker that I was from a rural location, East Coast area, that my mother lived with her parents and that she was 16. And that was what I was told. And then I've subsequently found out that the age is wrong. I also wasn't told her name. I wasn't told my birth name.
So, well, you mean your mother, the age you were told of your mother was wrong?
It's wrong. Well, from what I have found out and what I have searched and researched with public records, there was nobody at 16 who gave birth to me with her name. I got a copy of my file, or the file that they will give you, and of 30 pages that they have, I was only allowed to have 10. Of those 10 pages, there was one page that gave me information I didn't know already, and that was that my birth name was Mary Teresa. And I was born at 1:35 p.m. You know, it's just simple information that you probably all know, you know, if you're not adopted. And I was born in St. Patrick's Home on the Navan Road in Dublin, and that was the information. That was it. That was all the information I got on my file. And as I said, I subsequently, through getting another copy of more up-to-date notes in my file, I found out that my birth mother's name is Evelyn. And I only found that out by accident. The social worker hadn't quite crossed out her name on one of her handwritten notes. So that's I knew then her name was Evelyn, and so I went into the General Registry Office in Dublin, and I knew I was born in 1966, the 12th of May. I knew where I was born. So I got the ledgers out for 1966. There was 3 huge ones. They were about this size, the 3 of them, and they're huge. And my husband and myself, and we just opened on page 1 and keep going
until you.
Well, I
as you said there, it takes over your life.
Yeah, it does. It does, because it gets addictive. You want to know. You want to find the truth. And I said, we found her entry fairly quick. My husband found it, and I was absolutely shattered that he had found it. And I was thinking, like, in one
Before
respect,
you did.
yeah, I wanted to find it. It's mine. I wanted to find it. And then it was sort of, oh, so that's who I was supposed to be, because I had the surname then as well. And I thought, I want to know who this person is supposed to be, or was supposed to be, because the way I see it, I mean, I have a happy life. I'm very, very happy, but I should have had a different life. I should have grown up as Mary Teresa, hopefully with a family, unit and whatever. But obviously, I did have an adopted family, and so I did have a good life. But I should have been somebody else, and I just need to know who that person is. So that was the information that I started my search then myself, because when I had her name, I could go and look for her birth certificate, because I had been told she was 16. So we worked it out that between 1949 and 1951, she should have been born. Now, there was somebody born in 1951, but she would only been 14 at the time. So I have contacted her, and she said, no, it's not me.
You're working off a list of
possibles, because when I found out that there was nobody at 16, I then had to go back in again, and I've gone back as far as 1937 all the way up to 1951. So there's 10 women out there, and I'm on number 6 now of my search. And some of them,